Hi, this is Kurt with Friendly DevOps, and I'm going to share with you an experience that I recently had that led me to changing my ISP. So, the ISP I was paying for was charging me what I considered an extremely high rate for gigabit internet. And so I called them up and discussed how I can reduce my bill. And they told me the only way to reduce my bill was to transfer over to utilizing their newer modem and a newer package. So I did so. Upon receiving the modem, however, I was unable to log into the modem from the local network. Upon reading the documentation, it was a requirement to download an app in order to be able to connect to their networks, their remote networks, in order for me to set up my internet locally and access their modem to be able to connect to the internet. Now, I'm not a paranoid individual, but I am very cautious. Some may say overly cautious. I'm not concerned with that, but I will not at any point in time download an app and have and grant a company the ability to run code on my device in order to interact with their services, especially when that has not historically been the case. And so I call up customer service and they state to me there is no other option and that I will not be able to continue along using their service unless I use the app. Now, some people might download that app for a day, set up your internet, and delete it. I have zero intention of ever allowing a company to have the ability to run code on my own device. And one of the reasons I'm so adamant about this is in Canada, there's a company called Tim Hortons, and Tim Hortons has come out with a rewards program, a points program that allows you to stack points and then redeem them for free items at their stores. And then they came out with an app for convenience purposes. Now, this app then proceeded to monitor the whereabouts of the customers who utilize this app and was pinging not only your location, but also informing the company whenever you were near the chain of arrival. So I was forced to send back their modem and at that point continue paying the prices that I found were unreasonable. So I switched to another service provider that was in the area. But the speeds for this new service provider in my area were considerably less than the service provider I had just departed. Luckily for me, a third service provider was running a promotion in my local grocery store. And so while I was running groceries, I had an individual come up to me, a sales rep. I had no interest in engaging with the sales rep, but he was quite pushy. And luckily for me, that he was, because he informed me that the company he represented was looking to uh, offer internet services for a reduced price within my area. And I stated to him that I was only interested in gigabit internet. He proceeded to inform me that if I was already a customer of their company, that I would get an additional discount. So with the total discounts available to me, I was now going to pay a third of what I was paying to my original ISP. And after looking through the package, it became abundantly clear to me that my new service provider did not have the network infrastructure in place within my region, and that for them to provide me internet, they were going to be using the infrastructure of my original service provider. So when the new modem came in, it was a regular modem, just like the previous modem I was using with my original service provider, not the one that required an app to be able to interact with and set up. And so it perplexes me that I'm still on their same network utilizing the same bandwidth, paying a third of the price, and not being pushed to jump through hoops and download an invasive technology onto my phone. And now my original service provider is making a fraction of a fraction off of the services that they're still providing me. I don't know. It just makes no sense. All right. Take care. Bye.